Our first question from someone named Joe, who actually had a question in the spirit of CrossFit. And
Okay.
so Joe asked, what workout do you think best encompasses the spirit of hope, not nope?
Joe, thank you for that question. It is a really difficult one to answer. And to give background info of what are these different CrossFit workouts, why are they named in the way that they're named? And there's actually, I think we can kind of put it into two different compartments, which I think will hopefully circle back to answer the question. So I'm not trying to avoid it, but I'm going to give the background to help with people who may not know the names of these workouts and where they come from. So one category that these workouts are named on is people that have served and sacrificed and given their life for others, whether that's in the military, whether that's in firefighting, whether that's in EMR, but it's people that have really gone above and beyond to sacrifice to give to others. The other category is that there's these benchmark workouts that are named, and they're named after girls. They're known as the CrossFit Benchmark Girl Workouts. And kind of a fun fact with this is that the previous owner of CrossFit, when they created these workouts, they wanted to have standardized tests across every CrossFit gym to get data to see, is the methodology working with what we're trying to accomplish. These workouts, the benchmark girl workouts, are meant to make you feel really terrible. They're very challenging. And so he named them the way that the National Storm Service names hurricanes. Quick names that are like quick girl names, because that's what the workout's meant to be, is like a storm. So I think when we look at both of these categories, we can learn a lot of how they're related to hope, not nope. One, from the service aspect of being this quote unquote lifelong athlete, it's not about competing in the sport. It's living out the values of sacrifice, discipline, leadership, giving yourself up to make your team benefit. So in that scenario, there's so many workouts that fall into that hope, not nope category. And one of the ones people are probably the most familiar with is Murph. That's done on Memorial Day. That's in honor of Lieutenant Michael Murphy. And Brandy actually competed or did that one this year, the first time, with doing the 100 pull-ups. And she said afterwards, the hardest part was that your heart rate is spiked, but then it stays spiked for as long as it takes you to finish it.
Yeah.
Which, if you're an elite athlete, 38 to 40 minutes. If you're not this elite, CrossFit's paying your paycheck type of athlete, you're looking at anywhere from 40 minutes up to an hour of continuous work. But in that, you're suffering for a greater purpose. You're suffering to show the respect to the people that have given their lives for you. So it's very meaningful. It's very purposeful. It's a very locked in, focused sacrifice. And so I think any of those workouts could fit into the hope, not nope methodology. And then the other side of it, of looking at the storms, it's really interesting. I remember being at this leadership conference, and they talked about two animals that don't run away from storms. When a storm happens, they actually go into the storm. One of them is a bull, and the other one is an eagle. And in the book, I actually talk about the eagle a little bit. And I think there's really good analogies that we can learn from that, of that when an eagle sees a storm, all the other birds, they try to fly away from it. They try to get away from it. And in doing that, they actually prolong their suffering because the wind speed continues to follow them. I just thought of a seagull that flies against the wind, but they don't actually go anywhere in parking lots. But aside from that, eagles, they fly up higher and get up over the storm so they can see better into the storm. And then they actually go out through the other side of it. In leaning into the storm, into the discomfort, into the adversity, they actually decrease their amount of time of suffering by leaning into that discomfort. Now, the first time an eagle learns how to fly, it's not into a storm, it's barely to the next branch. And then they build up to the next branch and the next branch. And then eventually they leave the tree and then come back to the tree. And then they start taking on these bigger things down the road. So when we look at what CrossFit Workout is symbolizing hope, not nope, I think it depends on that person that's seeking hope. Where are they coming from? What season are they in? Are they in a season that they need to be able to persevere through long duration suffering because they're giving themselves to others? Or are they in a season that they need to really push into the suffering to be able to get out of it sooner instead of running away from it, and the storm continues to chase them?
I love that answer. That answer is phenomenal. And as you were talking, I was reflecting on the Murph experience of this past year. And for us, we did Murph at a local gym. And that gym had, I don't know, 50 to 100 people there. And so for me, when I think of CrossFit workouts and Hope Not Nope, I think what Dillon said is exactly it. But I think another thing is community and how important community is. And we did the Murph on Memorial Day with a community of amazing people. And some people do the Murph by themselves, which is fine. But for us, when I think of any workout, the thing that brings up Hope Not Nope the most is community, because we need other people to help us in the hope journey. We need other people to help us in our healing journey and in the journey of life.